If we live in a dualistic universe, is the world peace even possible? Somebody
Hmm.
asks.
Well, I have a lot of peace, and I know
Yes.
other people do, because I feel the energy of peace is based on our understanding. Now, I walk around the world and I see that not everybody has peace within themselves.
Yeah.
Uh, and really, it's because of how we think about ourselves and about this world. I think the question of duality is like karma, or the term duality is like karma. It's a very difficult to define term, and people are using it very different. My experience is that there's the appearance of differences. I wouldn't even call it duality, I would say multiplicity. There's appearance of an infinite number of different forms, and consciousness is experiencing itself in an infinite number of different forms. In this reality, it's all still an experience of oneness. It's all happening within the one consciousness. It's all the one consciousness experiencing itself in everything. And like I mentioned to an earlier question, everything is really creating everything else. So there is no real separation of self or other or of duality. A lot of times people use the word duality, at least in my opinion, to connote good and bad or right and wrong or some type of dimension that's undesirable to be in. I think when a person defines the term that way, they're really defining or they're really using their mind in a way that's not really serving their highest good. Anytime you think about negative things or good and bad or right and wrong or undesirable things, you're going to cause suffering in yourself. My experience is that the line of good and bad is a line that we draw ourselves based upon our understanding. What I think is good for me, another person may not desire to experience. It's like, for example, what you said, right? You're now spending more time at your home because of the COVID experience, right? And
Mhm.
that might be good for you. You're happy. You're able to be in your home, you're able to do your artwork and maybe meditate more or read a book. Someone else may say, that's a bad experience. I don't want to be in my home. It's the same experience. We draw the line of good or bad based upon how I'm creating in that present moment. For me, I don't even think about duality because I consider it just an abstract concept that is often loaded with uncomfortable emotions like fear, doubt, anger, resistance. I think it's unconstructive to form these ideas that make us feel more restricted. My experience is there is no separation. So, in regards to peace, peace is really just a feeling of relaxation and a feeling of harmony. You can't relax when you feel disharmony from other people or from the world. Any form of resistance is not going to feel like peace.
Mhm.
So, how can we get our mind into a place that allows us to not judge the world as good or bad, to not create this idea of duality is wrong, because that removes our peace? How can I learn to be in the present moment in any way the universe is deciding to show itself to me with all these infinite number of forms, all these infinite dimensions? How can I be in this experience without resistance? Because then I'll feel relaxed, I'll feel comfortable, and I'll have peace. So, peace is based upon how I interpret my reality in the present moment. It's not based upon, am I in a dimension of self and other? Am I in the first dimension or the 51st dimension? It's really not about that. It's about my interpretation of God, of my reality. Can I be relaxed and feel harmonious with the present moment? Or am I creating ideas that separate myself and others? Now, the question also is, can the world experience peace? And I think, yeah, it can. Anything is possible. The potential for peace is here for all of us. We are given every single emotional feeling within the human spectrum. We are given so many different ways to think and act and create. When we start using our mind in ways that create harmony, then we're going to feel an increase of peace. We can have peace in this world. There's no power outside of us forcing us to think a certain way or live a certain way. If we reject the rules of society, we'll have the consequences of those rules. But we have to remember that we created those rules in the first place. And we can also change those rules at any time. Everything in our reality is our own creation. And the more we embrace that, the more we can actually manifest the world that we want to live in. But when we believe that we're stuck here, there's powers forcing us to be someone we don't want to be, when we believe in these restrictive ideas, like oftentimes how duality is defined, we end up creating our own suffering. So the bigger problem is the ignorance of who we are as creators, and not, am I in a dimension in which there are different forms appearing?